I want to talk about the unsuitability of the 4 commissioners, electoral commissioners. I hope I'll be given a chance to make my presentation when such a time comes. I have worked with the Electoral Commission as a supervisor in a registration center. The registration center is the famous Bishop Gatimu Gandu Girls. I have been a trainer of election officials. I have trained presiding officers. I have trained deputy presiding officers. I have trained polling clerks, and I have trained counting clerks. The current situation now is that they have merged the duties of a polling clerk and a counting clerk. From 1992, we have always been telling election officials, especially at the polling station, that technology one day will catch up with us, and we may have very few skeleton staff. People may even move to electronic voting. So if you are selected as an election official, you are there as a machine, a conveyance machine. You are there to necessitate a voter vote, so that you necessitate the voter to vote only. Otherwise, when the technology catches up with us, we may have very few of election officials. We may even have one per polling center. During the IPPG, some political parties pushed for some commissioners to represent them. And my nephew, Justice Chesoni, told the new commissioners that even though you are selected by political parties, when you come here, your loyalty is to the Constitution, your loyalty is to the Commission, the laws of Kenya, and the Constitution of Kenya. You are not answerable to any human being. So, this mentality of politician that political parties should appoint commissioners to check among each other is wrong. It is just like in football. You cannot officiate an AFC Gor Mahia game if you are not a fanatical of that. So, whatever you do as a referee should be so hard that whoever does not know you closely cannot be in a position to know which side you favor. When you are called upon to assist the Electoral Commission in its noble duty, first of all, you have to take an oath. People do not know why they take the oath. The oath is taken because whatever you see there, you are not supposed to tell people. Imagine you being a presiding officer in a place, and you know so-and-so is a very close relative of a candidate, and that person is illiterate, so that when he or she goes into the ballot booth and asks you to assist the voter, you cannot go there and say, hey, in polling station yetu, the leading person was so-and-so, hata fulani ni relative, first cousin ya candidate na hakumpigia. Such, whatever you see, you are even supposed to forget it immediately you close the box. The other thing, you swear the affidavit, you take an oath, not an affidavit, you take an oath to bind you to do things as per, because the problem of taking their agents, taking commissioners and other employees from political parties, the aim is to block other political parties and also to try and uplift votes for his or her political party. I have been a presiding officer many times, and you find that an agent comes and says, hapa tumelengwa, tumepigwa sana. So anytime anybody comes says he or she wants to be assisted, tafadhali mark it in such a bad way that wakati ya kuhesabiwa isihesabiwe. Yours is only a facilitator. So you Raila Amolo Odinga and many political formations that he has been having, he has a history of penetrating and exposing election officials. We had this step, and I have to say it from the onset that I have not had a technical person to verify the authenticity of that tape, but Major Oswago, the CEO, was passing some information to Raila Odinga on phone, and the tape was out. Recently, one of the commissioners of the Cherera 4 was talking to Raphael Tuju about their work. Well, the Electoral Commission, you don't go and broadcast everything, but you do your things well. We have had cases of election officials dying, including the recent returning officer from Embakasi who died mysteriously. How do you feel when you, as an election official, monitor other election officials and pass the information to candidates and people who are interested in such things? Suppose you pass information about somebody and the person later dies. You'll have a guilt in conscience that you may have contributed to that. So this issue of monitoring your colleagues and talking was very bad, and I will come back to that. So I want to say how we have been told that one vote, every vote counts. Every vote counts. Let me give you how with one vote you can overthrow the government. Take a voter in a place called Nawiyapong, which is the bordering Pokot, Turkana and Karamojong in Uganda. This polling station is 800 kilometers from Nairobi, and you are the presiding officer there. When counting a vote, you reach this one vote and you have to make a decision. You make a decision whether the vote will go to the right candidate. The right candidate is the person whom the elector wanted to vote for. That one, you have done your job. Or you decide, at that time, let us say there are two candidates, two presidential candidates, each has 7 million votes. And then you decide, the second option, to take that one vote, just that one, you give it to the other candidate. You have used one vote to overthrow the government. Why am I saying you have overthrown the government with one vote? Overthrowing treason is described as a change in government in any other way apart from the prescribed way. Now you have changed the government with that just one vote. Supposing that vote you decide not to give the other candidate but to declare it rejected, then you'll have made the two candidates have the same shares, the same votes, and they will go for a rerun. Just you, one person, have caused a problem. And imagine Cherera tried to joke around with 142,000 votes. So she has overthrown 142,000 governments. In Africa alone, we have 53 or 54 governments. So she was overthrowing all governments in our solar system. Just that. All of them. That is why every vote, actually from the word go, it is the announcement that is made by the returning officer of any level is supposed to reflect what the voters wanted at the time of going. The other thing we wanted to say is that if you continue monitoring other commissioners and you tell them, that is very bad. Our Electoral Commission is very independent. If you feel you are insecure, you ask for security from the police. When you ask for security from the police, there is a procedure. But we can hear from the tape, Raphael Tuju assuring a commissioner, Raphael Tuju, Secretary General of one of the competing parties, telling a commissioner that he has made arrangements for transport and security of those people. That was very bad, because if the commission feels that they need more security, they have a booklet which tells them how to approach the Inspector General, and if they need more vehicles. Lastly, and which is very serious, and which I think the commissioner should have been sacked as per yesterday, is when Raphael Tuju, the commissioner, appears reluctant. He says that the 6 topics you gave us, we are only agreeing on 2. We are not agreeing on 4. And then Raphael Tuju, who is the Secretary General of a major competing party, tells him, do this, because Raphael Tuju has a history in journalism. He says, we are going for a long weekend, just cook up any story, forget about the 4 topics you don't agree, pick up the 2 that you agree, so that at least the journalists are kept busy over the weekend. The Electoral Commission used to be called ECK, Electoral Commission of Kenya, but there was a deliberate reason why they placed the word independent. Now, for the Electoral Commission to decide to have one drafter of its speech, the vice chair of its speech, to be similar to Raila's speech, that one shows no independence. It shows that it had been infiltrated. So that is why I wanted them to be out, and they should be out something like yesterday. More when I am appearing before the commission, that will necessitate them to get out. And the good thing, the beautiful thing about it is that once they are declared unfit for office, they will not hold any other public office for... The law doesn't give a period, it just says that in future. So they will never have powers to, just like Sonko, who today has been made, he cannot contest anything because there is no time limit for what he went through. Thank you.